Today I'm going to be talking about Antonio Vivaldi. Vivaldi was a popular Italian Baroque composer, priest, and virtuoso violinist. He was nicknamed the Red Priest because of his red hair. His music and influence was widespread all over Europe. He's mainly known for composing instrumental concerts, sacred choral works, and more than 40 operas. Many also know him for his series of violin concerts entitled The Four Seasons. So his early life. Antonio was born on July 28, 1678 in Venice, Italy. He was baptized immediately after he was born by a midwife. A fun fact is that many people thought that baptism at such an early age meant that he was either born in bad health or because there was an earthquake that day. His official church baptism, however, took place 2 months later in his church that he went to. Antonio also had 5 siblings. Vivaldi experienced a lot of health problems growing up. However, this did not stop him from learning how to play violin, composing music, or even taking part in musical activities. In 1693, at the age of 15, he went to school to become a priest. At the age of 25 in 1703, he was ordained and nicknamed the Red Priest. Just after ordination in 1704, Vivaldi was given a dispensation from celebrating Mass because he was sick. He only said Mass as a priest very few times before withdrawing from his priestly duties. However, he did still remain a priest. Some of his career highlights. In September of 1703, Antonio Vivaldi became master of violin at an orphanage named the Pio Ospedale della Pietà, which is the Hospital of Mercy in Venice. He was only 25 years old when he started working in this orphanage, and he spent the next 30 years working here. During this time, there were 4 similar institutions in Venice, which gave shelter and education to abandoned orphan children. The institutions were financed by the Republic, and the boys learned a trade before they left when they turned 15. The girls were taught music, and talented ones joined a renowned orchestra and choir. After Antonio was appointed to this institution, the children started to gain appreciation and esteem abroad. He wrote concertos, sacred vocal music, cantatas for all of them to perform together. The sacred works, which there was over 60 of them, included large-scale choral works, solo motets, orchestra, and double chorus. So Antonio's relationship with the board of directors of the orphanage was in most cases very strained. The board took a vote each year to decide whether to keep a teacher or not, and in 1709, the board decided not to keep Vivaldi. However, after 1 year of being away, the board recalled him. When he returned, the board made him responsible for all musical activities in the institution. So in 1716, he was promoted to the music director there. So some of his major works. In 1705, Vivaldi's first collection of work, Conner Cassara, was published. In 1709, his second collection of 12 sonatas for the violin and bass canoa was published. His most successful operatic works were Fornace and La Costanza Trionfante. Apart from working at the institution, Antonio Vivaldi also accepted several short-term positions that were funded by patrons in Rome and Mantua. During his term in Mantua, between 1717 and 1721, he wrote a 4-part masterpiece entitled The Four Seasons, which he is mostly known for. Vivaldi's fans and patrons included the European royal families. One of his cantatas entitled Gloria a Mineo was specifically written for the wedding of King Louis. Emperor Charles was also a great fan of Antonio and named him a knight. So, his later years and his legacy. So after his popularity declined, Antonio Vivaldi, he left Venice, his hometown, for Vienna and Austria. He went to look for a position in the imperial court located there. However, he was not successful. He ended up dying in poverty on July 28, 1741, and was buried in a very simple grave after a funeral service that proceeded without music. With most of Vivaldi's compositions were written for female music ensembles of the hospital that he worked at, Ospedale della Pietà, which is his home for abandoned children, where he was employed between the years of 1703 and 1715, and again from 1723 to 1740. Although his music was well received during his lifetime, it declined in popularity over the years. However, he still ranks among the most popular and widely recorded of Baroque composers. It's so sad that um, his popularity declined so rapidly because Vivaldi's music is a very, very, very good piece of work, especially the Four Seasons. But since World War One, his music has been widely performed. His work, which included about 500 concertos, has greatly influenced many composers, including Bach and many other recognizable names. And it's just listening to all his different kinds of works. It's just beautiful, and it's really good, just Baroque style music, and really gets. It's kind of sad that it had to end that way for him, but I know his legacy will live on forever.